How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video, another first thoughts. This is going to be on Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy. If you're going to build Kinnan, comment down below what you're going to do with Kinnan. If you're going to throw him into a deck, love to hear it. Just let me know, send me a list. Yeah, I like to check this stuff out. And we're going to hop into this. So Kinnan is sick. It's a 2-mana mana doubler. Really, really good. But, I mean, it doesn't double the mana from lands. Thank God. Otherwise, I mean, Simic would be just busted. I mean, this card is still pretty busted. Like, this is pretty close to on par with Thrasios, which is one of the best commanders in the game, but without partner, which definitely is a big downside, but it's still a very, very strong card. It might be strictly better than just regular Thrasios, like on its own, just looking at the 2 cards on their own, if not including partners. But that's very much up for debate. I think it's very close to on par with Thrasios straight up, but I mean, partner gives it a big boost. So Kinnan is powerful though. I could definitely see this being a CDH deck, and I can't see it being built as a bad deck unless you only put land ramp in the deck. I can't see Kinnan being a bad commander. I can't see it being under a 7 or an 8. But yeah. I think Kinnan's going to be sweet. I probably end up building Kinnan, and I'm excited to do so because I got some cool ideas for him, and I'm going to share them with you guys. So, first thing, you're obviously going, like, unlike most Simic decks, which really want to run like Cultivate and Kodama's Reach to ramp as much as possible by pulling lands out of your deck, you're going to really want to rely on Mana Dorks and Mana Rocks. Stuff like Finhorn Elves, Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elves, Mind Stone, Soul Ring, stuff like that. You're going to want to load your deck up with as much of that stuff as possible as opposed to land ramp, because that's the stuff that Kinnan really profits you on. All the Mana Rocks, all the Mana Dorks, especially Mana Dorks, I think. I think Mana Dorks are ideal in this deck. Partly because of the second ability. The Mana Dorks will help to make sure you don't whiff on anything, because you get to look at the top 5 cards, put a creature into play, and put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. If you just have all rocks and then big dudes, then you're going to be more likely to whiff. If it's all dorks and big dudes, you're almost guaranteed to hit. Whether it be good or a dork, but I mean, either way, you're better off than nothing. So I'm going to start off with some really good cards in this deck other than the obvious dorks and rocks. Something like Return of the Wild Speaker. You're going to be filling your deck with a lot of Mana Dorks. You're going to have a lot of small creatures running around. You can use this to buff all your creatures by 3 and swing for a lot of damage. But you're also going to want to capitalize on the other ability of Kinnan and add a lot of big creatures like Terastodon or something like that. So you can capitalize on the other half of Return to Wild Speaker by drawing cards equal to the power of a creature. So say you have Terastodon and play just draw 9 cards. Seems pretty good. Return of the Wild Speaker just works really well for both halves of this deck, and I think it's an auto include in this deck. You can throw in like Leyline of Abundance to make your dorks tap for even more damage, even more mana, and give you another mana outlet if you need it. Like just a growth outlet. Stuff like Astrolabe, you can tap it to create 2 mana of whatever color you want, as opposed to 1. So it actually nets you mana here. So it's a 1 mana draw card Mana Rock, which is really, really good. Like, that's disgustingly good. Then we got Training Grounds and Master Biomancer. Or not Master Biomancer. Is it Master What the hell is the card's name? Oh my god. It's not Master Biomancer. I can't remember the card name, but it's going to be over there. And I'm just going to look like an idiot and say, it's the Training Ground creature dude. So those 2 cards make it so the ability of Kinnan costs less to activate, which is huge because, I mean, 7 mana is pretty expensive. If you can make it 5 mana, that's way more affordable, and you can activate it more times in a turn. So it's good. It's very good. You're going to want to throw in Seedborn Muse and Wilderness Reclamation. Both of those are auto includes because of the fact that you got an infinite mana outlet on your commander. You're going to want to be able to untap all the time and activate it as much as possible. Mox Amber, you're going to be... Your command is 2 mana. Your commander is 2 mana. You're going to have it in play the majority of the time in the game. Mox Amber will just be a double mana rock for 0 mana, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Salawa, another really good mana dork, but it's based on the big side of your creatures too. So like if you can drop a big guy, Salawa taps for a lot more mana, and it's even extra mana. Then you got stuff like Urza, because you can run non-mana based artifacts in the deck. You tend to do that in most decks. And Urza can turn them into mana rocks, which then tap for double. So, seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. So yeah, tons of mana dorks. You're gonna be running a lot of creatures in this deck. So stuff like Beast Whisperer, Soul of the Harvest, Lifecrafter's Bestiary, anything that really benefits on you casting a lot of creatures, you're gonna want to throw in this deck. Just because that it's value. It's a lot of value. There's a pretty easy chance of you being able to just go off, so you can do something like Glimpse of Nature, throw that in there. It could be very cool. And if you want to try to fix the top of your deck so that way you know what you're going to hit, you can use something like Soothsaying, which is okay. I mean, if you have like not enough mana to activate twice, you can activate it once to filter what you're going to get. You'd have to... It's only really worth it if you have 11 mana, 7 mana to activate, 6 mana to look through the top 6. Otherwise, it's actually not that great in the deck. But Squirrel RAC is great in the deck. Same thing with like Brainstorm, because those let you put cards from your hand directly on the top of your library. So say you have something big in your hand that you don't want to cast and you want to play for free, you can just drop it down and flip it into play. Then you got stuff like Manna Reflection and Nyxbloom Ancient. Why not make your Dorks and Rocks tap for even more mana? I mean, with Nyxbloom Ancient, your commander in play, you suddenly have a Land of War Elf that taps for 6 mana. Seems pretty damn good. You can also... There's a couple tribal decks that you can build with this. So it's a druid, and there's a lot of really cool druid cards out there, and a lot of them are based on mana, like Seton. So I forget what the rest of Seton is, but Seton. So that way all your druids tap for mana. It'll make it so Kinnan taps for mana himself, so he becomes a mana dork. It can really make a cool deck. I think I might be building a druid tribal deck with this commander, because that seems like a very fun deck to do. Plus, you can throw in like Guiltleaf Archdruid and really make the table mad, which sounds like a blast to me. You can make this deck into an elf ball deck too. I know he's not an elf, but he makes your elves way better. All of them tap for extra mana. I was going to say double, but a lot of the elves tend to tap for more than 1 mana to begin with. So it can very much snowball the deck way faster, especially because of the fact that he's got an infinite mana outlet on him. Typically, you want to run something like Azuri as your commander for Elf Ball because of the fact that he has an infinite mana outlet. But Kinnan could make an even better Elf Ball commander just because he also has an infinite mana outlet, an extra color, and makes all your dorks tap for more. He seems fantastic in Elf Ball. I think he might be better than Momir. And Druid Tribal just seems fun. So those are the tribal decks that I have for this. Then there's some very, very strong cards, infinite combos that this deck makes. There's a lot of good infinites that you can do. So something like Intruder Alarm plus its ability. If you have enough mana on board with your creatures to tap all your creatures and activate your commander, activate Kinnan and put a creature into play, then it'll untap them all and you can just keep doing that. You can chain through your entire deck possibly doing this. Then Dramatic Scepter. It makes Ice Crown Scepter, Dramatic Reversal combo easier to pull off because your rocks and dorks are tapping for more mana. Basalt Monolith and Kinnan just go infinite with each other. because you can now tap your Basalt Monolith for 4 colorless and untap it for 3 and just net 1 mana each time and just create infinite colorless mana. So the biggest thing is you're going to need to have a way to convert the mana into a different color, or just have blue and green left over so you can activate it a bunch of times. Or just have Walking Ballista in the deck and win the game. Worldly Tutor, Walking Ballista, infinite mana, boom. Game over. Freed from the Real and Petmanzora. Just throw either one of those on a mana dork. Both those I've mentioned a few times so far in these videos, but throw them on any mana dork that can tap for blue mana, and you have the game. Infinite blue. It'll create infinite blue mana, and then you can change that into infinite green mana. The dork can tap if it's Birds of Paradise, infinite blue mana. Then you can use some of that blue mana to make infinite green mana, and then bam, you can activate Kinnan, go through your entire deck, win the game however you want to. Probably Crater Hoof or something like that. You can just keep doing it until every creature's in play, then drop Crater Hoof and, I don't know, Concordant Crossroads or something. I mean, you can't get off Kinnan, but like, I'm sure it's good haste enablers. Concordant Crossroads is a great card for this deck, though. Then you can do any untappers like Horseshoe Crab or Soliton. You can throw either of those into the deck, and Cryptolitherite or Song of Frailes, those will make it so you can create infinite mana and do the same exact thing. He's a very, very strong commander. I can easily see him being an CEDH commander. Very sweet. And I feel like there's a lot of ways to act. There's a lot of ways that you can play him more fairly than other commanders. Like Chulane is really hard to play without really boring your opponents. But I think Kinnan is better at it just because of the fact that I feel like that he can be played more fairly and with faster turns than a lot of the other high value creatures with blue-green. He seems super fun though, and I'm definitely gonna build him. I definitely want to build Druid Tribal. I've got a sitting in my binder over here that I've been holding on to that I never decided to build, and now 100% going to build. I just need to buy another Elvish Guiltleaf Archdruid because I sold my only copy a while ago. But yeah, Kinnan seems pretty sweet, pretty fun commander. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember, comment down below what you're going to do with Kinnan. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, but subscribe to the channel. Do that. Check me out on Twitter, and if you really want to support the channel, you can check me out on Patreon. And I will see you guys next time.